Max Verstappen, champion of the world for the third time.
Yeah, unbelievable, guys. I don't know what to say.
It is Saturday Night Delight for the champion driver of the year in 2021, 2022 and 2023.
Max, great to see you. Congratulations. It's a few hours since you've clinched your third World Championship. I'm guessing you haven't had a lot of time to enjoy it yet. How do you feel though, right now?
Yeah, I feel good. I mean, of course, it was quite hectic, quite busy, out there doing a lot of interviews and stuff. So I'm looking forward to have a few hours where I can just be with the team and have a good time. But yeah, of course, incredibly proud of everyone, involved to this project. I was also very happy. There were a lot of important people, to me here, my family, close family, important members of the team. They were here to quickly celebrate, and yeah, that was very nice.
What does this third world title mean to you? The first one obviously was your first one, and do they feel a little bit different? Yeah,
they all feel very different, and I think that's very beautiful. The first one is very emotional, and I think this one has been the best one in terms of like performance and dominance as a team. A lot of different feelings from all three of them.
It's been so convincing, the number of wins you've had this year, that 10 wins in a row record that you've got now as well. Can you almost even believe how strong it's been this year?
I think no one expected that within the team that we would have a season like this with the amount of wins as well. We are very proud of our achievements, of course I'm very proud to sit here and be talking about the championship.
Now you've got that trophy to come, that third World Championship trophy. Firstly, where are the first two? Where do you keep those?
I got one on my fridge next to the simulator,
Nice.
And one in my kind of like closet next to the TV in my living room.
Okay, nice. Yeah. So you don't
Good
get
views.
You don't quite get this one. You get that at the gala at the end of the year, but do you know where that one's going to go?
I'm sure I have a bit more space, so we'll have a look.
And what do you do generally with all of the trophies? Because you wrapped up so many of them now.
Yeah, at the moment I still have them all most of them are in my living room. I think my dad has a few, my mom has a few, but most of them are at my place.
Nice. Now this, I know that it's difficult when you're racing to look about what the records mean to you, but when you hear the names of Ayrton Senna, Niki Lauda, Sir Jackie Stewart, Jack Brabham, they've all won 3 World Championships. What does that make you feel like now you're part of that group?
Yeah, it's of course something I never imagined was possible for myself. My dream was to get to Formula One, maybe win a race or be on the podium. So to sit here as a 3-time world champion and be in that list, I mean, is of course incredible. And of course I'm very proud of that. And
it's incredible that you've done them 3 in a row. So then more names: Vettel, Hamilton, Fangio, Schumacher. They're the only other ones who've done that. That's more elite company that you're in.
Yeah, I mean, of course you can't always control that. I mean, of course you're also very dependent on the material you get, the car. So very happy with that. But of course I hope it doesn't stop here.
How good has this car been this year?
The car we had this year has been incredible. It's been really enjoyable to drive, and of course in quite a lot of tracks we were quite dominant. But also, there were never really the easiest circumstances with rain being involved and stuff to make the right calls. And I think as a team, we really maximized also our opportunities.
Does it make it even more special that you've been able to do that? Like when the rain came, you've had sprint races this year as well. Lots of different factors, and even having the best car, you just haven't made a mistake really this year.
Yeah, I think that's always quite difficult, and that's why I'm very proud of the team as well, to make the right calls in very pressured environments. So of course very, very happy with everyone within the team being under that intense stress. People always think it's quite easy when you have a quick car, but everyone always wants to do their best and wants to get the best out of it.
You had a really lovely message on the radio when you were saying how much you love being part of the Red Bull team, and we don't often hear drivers talk about that much. Like, how have you built those relationships with people on the team? We hear your relationship with GP on the radio as well, which is great. You've clearly got a really strong bond.
Yeah, we have a very good relationship. I mean, of course, you always talk about the performance, and you thank everyone, being involved of that performance, for giving their best and being contributing to the success. But not many people talk about actually the enjoyment of being part of the team and just having a great time as well. Because I keep telling, we have to enjoy this moment because it will not last forever. And luckily, I get to share it with a lot of great people.
And does that make it more special that you've obviously had cars where you haven't always been able to fight for wins consistently? Now you have got that. Does it make it more like you want to make sure you get everything out of it? Because like you said, it might not last forever.
Well, we always had a good environment. Now we also have a quick car. So when you can combine the two, I think that's fantastic.
You've obviously had a long time spent with Christian Horner as well. You've clearly got a good relationship. How has that really helped kind of develop over the last few years?
Yeah, also there, I mean, you really grow in your relationship together. I mean, also, I grew up a lot from when I was 18 when I joined the team to now to being 26. So you experience a lot of moments together, and we try to share as many moments we can. And also, like in between races, we try to catch up a bit, or like even like last time out in Japan, we're playing paddle together. Stuff like that, just having a good time and not always talk about racing, but other stuff as well. And we are in this together, and it's about finding moments also like which you will remember forever in life.
And you spend a lot of time with all of the team, don't you? I know that you spend a lot of time with the guys in the garage, back at the factory as well. And just talk a little bit about that and how you kind of want to go about your life, because it's not just about the racing, is it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of time that you spend together with them, traveling all over the world. They are giving everything they have, to be able to prepare the car in the best possible way. And then, I mean, there's no better way than being able to celebrate after the race, winning races. So, yeah, it's a really good group of people. And, I have a lot of respect for what they do for me. And I think it's also very important to make sure that, they are also really part of this, success, and, they deserve all the credits.
And from the technical side as well, Adrian Newey, renowned as a great designer, but he's got a great team around him. How much do you kind of interact with him and that team, and how much are you pushing each other almost in a way?
That's the beautiful thing. We don't need to push each other. Everyone is just out there to try and just always maximize stuff. I don't need to tell them, like, guys, come on, we need to push more. They're already flat out trying to do the best they can. And of course, Adrian has achieved so much in his career as well. And now also with the whole group of people like around him, like there are so many important people part of this process, So, seeing them come to the track sometimes as well, being outside of the factory and, being able to stand on the podium as well, like it's important, I find.
And you mentioned your family were here, which is awesome. Like they're so important, aren't they, in your journey into Formula One and to winning these championships?
Yeah, also they from day one when I started driving, they contributed so much of their lives, to be able, for me to be who I am today, and trying to push me to the top. And of course, it's always very nice when you can share these moments together. Luckily, I got to FaceTime my mom quickly after the race. I could see she was already on the champagne, so that was I think a good thing as well.
What did she have to say when you chatted to her?
She's very proud. I mean, she's also very nervous every single race, but it's beautiful because my mom really understands. She was a racer herself, so it's quite easy to relate.
And what about your dad as well? Have you had much chance to chat to him?
Yeah, he was here, so I think he was more fired up than me throughout the whole weekend in terms of like wanting to perform, which is great. It's nice, to have all of them close.
I guess throughout your career, you spent so much time with him going to go-kart tracks, racing around the world. It must be really special to have him here at so many races as well. Yeah,
and of course, he has his own family, of course, with little kids, and he can't join to all the races. I mean, he's still racing himself a bit in rally cars. So, the most important races he's coming, and of course, we've traveled so many years together, to try and work towards this, to try and achieve our goals. It's always very beautiful then to share these kind of moments.
And do you spend much time thinking about those great times, those maybe great races, the fun times you've had together at races, or is it at the moment in time you just want to focus on, I guess, winning as much as possible?
Yeah, you do remember, but also, sometimes you're so focused on what is happening right now, but then maybe like off-season parts where you come together, you remember all these things again, and probably you remember them even more once you stop racing and you look back at it all.
Now, I've still got a few races to go of this season, and I guess you want to keep pushing at every Grand Prix you've done this year. You've always wanted to win, and I guess that's always going to be the goal, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we won the championship now, but quite a few races still left, and we want to do the best we can. We still want to win races, and outside of that, have fun as well.
And do you think that's key to your success, that you're having fun outside, but to keep winning, you're kind of balancing it pretty well with just focusing always on the job in hand.
I think it's important to be able to switch off as well, in between weekends, to just go back to home and live your life, but then also work at the factory, of course, when you need to be there for simulator stuff or whatever, do your job, but then come back home and just switch off a little bit.
Is that something you've done maybe slightly differently this year and you've just gained with experience?
No, I've always been like that. I've been quite laid back in terms of like being able to quite quickly switch off from stuff. I think it works for me. Every person is very different in how they handle stuff, but for me that's very important also to not think about the fun sometimes and I don't know, just live a normal life as much as you can.
As much as you can, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Do you find it easy to switch off, like when the moment in time comes to do that?
I always had that, from a young age. I think I could easily just forget or not really focus too much on the racing side, but then also quickly just switch back on and be ready.
So the important question is, obviously it's a Saturday, how are you going to go and celebrate this?
I'm sure that we have a little bit of a celebration with the team after this interview. So just try to get everyone together. Of course, we still know that tomorrow is very important. We want to win the race. So we'll try not to make it too late. And
there'll be a bigger party, won't there, whenever you got a little bit more time. You haven't got a Grand Prix the next day.
For sure.
How quickly do you turn your attention to number 4?
Not for the moment. I mean, we'll see next year when we hit the ground running. I mean, of course, everyone is working very hard for next year already, but I'm not too focused on that yet. We'll see.
Your dad was asked earlier whether you can match Schumacher, and he was like, well, of course you can if you're given the right machinery. Do you feel that that's kind of the case? If you've always got a car like this year that you can fight for the win, you can keep on winning?
Yeah, I mean, I think so, but that's also like, in F1 it's quite odd, right? Like you need sometimes a bit of luck in your career as well to be able to win so much and be in a winning team for a long time. There's so many great drivers out there that maybe could have won more championships, so it's a tough one, but for sure, with winning machinery, then we can win more. But this is not something that I'm thinking about too much. I just live day by day and see how it goes.
What about like you personally and like where you're at in terms of performance, like a performance curve? Do you think you've got plenty more to give if you just can continue to keep pushing it year on year?
I always try to be better, but it's not suddenly that I'm going to pick up pace. It's more about just the general experience in the racing environment. Like every year you learn a lot, but also in life you learn a lot. So when you can try and combine these things together, I think you become a better driver, maybe more complete driver. And probably in more pressured environment and situations, you can make a better decision, I think, at the end.
When a lot of the drivers were asked this weekend about your success and the performance that you've had this year, they were so complimentary about it. Do they come and say that to you themselves? Have you read any of those comments? Because it's quite an extraordinary kind of level of respect, I think, that they've shown.
Yeah, I think we all get on very well. We have a lot of respect for each other. I mean, we're all in this together, 20 drivers, and we all appreciate, I think, each other's talent, and it's great to be able to share the grid with so many great drivers.
So just finally, what do you think the future holds for you, Max?
To be honest, it doesn't really matter. I'm already very, very happy. I never thought that I would achieve something like this, so anything else that comes, I'll happily take it, but I'm already very happy.
Brabham, Lauda, Senna, Piquet, Stewart, Verstappen. Well done, mate. You're making history.